Hello, everybody. What's up? Welcome back to yet another live Monday. It is Monday. Crazy. The weeks keep going by super fast. I feel like it's already April. It's April 4th. Where is the time going? I feel like we were just in Christmas break and now we are already in April. It's going to be summer soon. Oh my gosh, May is right around the corner. AP exams are upon us. Everything is happening so quickly, but do not worry. I am here to help. I'm super excited to be back. Today we are talking about how to get accepted to college with scholarships. I will be sharing 3 things students and parents can do to maximize the odds of not only getting accepted into a student's, dream school, but also receiving scholarships. So let's just make sure that we are currently live on YouTube and on Facebook. It seems like we are. Perfect. So if we have any people watching us on YouTube, make sure that you say hello in the comments. I see that we have people watching us on TikTok. If you see me looking down, I'll show you we're streaming on TikTok because why not? Why not get to as many people as possible? Why not help as many people as possible, through this college planning journey? Today, as I said, we are talking about how to get accepted into college with scholarships. And, before we get to that, I want to encourage you to follow our other social media platforms. So all of our handles for our English social media pages is Best College Aid USA. So if you want to find us on TikTok, if you want to find us on Instagram, you're going to search Best College Aid USA. And for YouTube and Facebook, all you have to do is youtube.com/ Best College Aid USA. And that is where you will be able to find us. And also the reason why, actually, before I get to the reason of today's, topic of conversation, I want to talk about something. I want to say congratulations to UNC. Congratulations, Tar Heels, for beating Duke this weekend on this past Saturday in March Madness. The Final Four game was played. It was Duke against North Carolina, and North Carolina beat Duke. They are big rivals, and as you can see in this picture here, my whole family went to a screening of the game because if you are familiar with us and our journey, my brother Francisco, my youngest brother, graduated from the University of North Carolina not so long ago, actually in last May, so almost a year ago. So he's a big UNC fan, and by association, so are we. Let me tell you, it was so fun. I went to a small private college in New York, and it was not a big school, a big sports school whatsoever. The college that I went to we didn't have good, not good, but competitive sports teams, or at least football or basketball. Our swim team was really good. Our women's, I think lacrosse team was really good. Women's swimming and men's swimming was really good. But, the big sports that usually a lot of students keep track of, like basketball and football, were not that big, there just wasn't that big sports culture like UNC has. So going to this game this past weekend, watching UNC beat Duke, was actually quite fun. It was very entertaining, and it was something really different, something that I personally never experienced, and something that my brother Francisco got to experience when he went to college. So March Madness, having a rival school in such a, big screen like what March Madness is, something that gets televised and something that a lot of people talk about and a lot of people are into. So yes, I just wanted to say congratulations, Tar Heels. And like David said in the comments section, go Tar Heels. That's right. Congratulations, UNC. And the game is tonight, as you can see in this screen. Tonight, UNC is playing Kansas. Who do you think it's gonna win? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you're watching this game, if you keep up with, all things college basketball, March Madness, college football, if that is something that you like. And, a little side note relating it to, of course, the college planning process. If having a big sports culture, going to a school that has a big sports culture is something that you're interested in, you might want to consider applying to these types of school. Or if you're really not interested in colleges or in sports in general, if you actually want to stay away from that, then maybe, going to a school like UNC or UF, well, not Duke, but yeah, a big school that has a big sports culture might not be for you. So keep that in mind. That is part of the college experience, and I will get into that in just a second. But yes, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. For now, why don't we go ahead and get started, because it is 3:08. It is time to get going and start talking about today's topic, how to get accepted to college with scholarships. Let's go. Why don't we go ahead and get started? So, the reason why we're talking about this specific topic is because last week we posted a TikTok on our Spanish account, because, as I said, we have English channels and we also have Spanish channels. We are a bilingual platform. And on our Spanish channel, we posted a video that, reached 240,000 people. 240,000 people related to this specific question. How can I help my kids get accepted to college with scholarships? We got a lot of comments. I believe that video was liked by over 10,000 people. And, there were hundreds of comments asking questions, thanking us for the information that short TikTok had. So we decided to elaborate and kind of make this short TikTok, this short video where we shared information with you, make it a little longer and, talk about it in more depth, because we realized that a lot of people had similar questions about this topic. So thank you for everyone who commented on that and who, related or who asked or shared this video. So how can I help my kids get accepted to college with scholarships, or how can I improve my chances of getting accepted to college with scholarships? Because remember, going to college for most people, it's not only about getting accepted, it's also about being able to afford the institution, right? And these two things, being able to afford it and getting accepted, they go hand in hand. So let's start with the first thing that students can do to not only get accepted, but to receive scholarships. And I'm going to start off with an example, extracurricular activities. Parents and students, there is a big power with extracurriculars come a lot of benefits and benefits that can help students throughout the college admissions journey, right? So extracurricular activities, if practiced from a young age, if practiced with time, and if the student wants to continue to do these extracurricular activities, once they get to college, they could receive a lot of benefits. One of them being, of course, maximizing the chances of getting accepted. If it's an extracurricular that the student wants to continue to do in college, something that they could receive a scholarship for, this could help the student afford the university and the parents as well, because there are things such as institutional scholarships, and these can be athletic scholarships. This can be merit-based. These could be need-based scholarships as well. So I'm going to give you an example, as you could see in this slide. By the way, if you're watching me on TikTok, I have a slide pulled up on YouTube. So if you want to subscribe to our channel so you can see all of these slides and see the replay of this live stream, go ahead and subscribe. All right, so extracurricular activities, right? My brother David, he was a swimmer. My whole family, we all swam, but he was the one who loved swimming the most. This was his extracurricular activity. And, we all swam since we were 6 or 7 years old. So by being able to swim from a very young age, swimming helped my brother get accepted into college and earn an athletic scholarship, which is also known as a merit-based institutional scholarship. And he received $8,000 per year to swim in college. So every year he got $8,000 to swim in college, and this helped him a lot. This helped him finance his education, because when David added those $8,000 per year to his financial aid for all the merit-based academic scholarships that he got, for the financial aid that he got from the FAFSA, from a relocation private scholarship that he got. All of this financial aid, all of these scholarships allowed him to go to college tuition free, right? And by his senior year, he was living off campus, and he was actually basically getting paid to go to the school because he had so much money left over. But I will get into that in just a second. What I'm trying to let you know and to tell you is that extracurriculars, if done right, if done in time, and if the student does what they love, can help a student go to college with scholarships. Myself, I'm going to give an example now about myself. And if you've been here in the past, if you've seen my live streams before, you probably know this. I did theater since my sophomore year of high school. I was part of my high school's drama club, and I discovered that it was something that I was really passionate about, something that I really liked. And I knew from the moment that I started doing theater that I wanted to continue to do it in college. So what did I do? I made sure that when I was looking and, creating my college list, I was looking at colleges that had theater programs, but not only that they had theater programs, but also colleges that offered scholarships for students who wanted to continue to do theater in college. So most of the schools in my list, most of the schools that I applied to had that opportunity of, potentially giving a merit-based scholarship for theater for students who wanted to continue to do this in theater. And of course, there was a lot of, rehearsal, a lot of things that happened in between. I didn't just was part of this cool theater club and then applied and randomly got that scholarship. There was a whole audition process. There was a process of looking for colleges. There was a plan behind it. So having a plan is very important, and, including an extracurricular to that plan could maximize the odds of your student getting accepted into college with scholarships. But the first thing that students and parents have to know about scholarships before you create this plan, before you do an extracurricular, make sure that the student and the parents have a conversation, talk. What extracurricular can you do? What is something that might, help, or that's something that the student is going to enjoy for a long time? Because, for example, David, he loved swimming enough to continue to do it not only in high school, but the 4 years of college, right? Because a lot of students think, oh, I'm just going to play football and then I'll stop doing it. If you stop doing football in college and you go for a scholarship, you kind of have to continue to do this in order to continue to have that scholarship. And there's other requirements as well. But it's important that the student is doing things that they love, right? Things that they like, things that they enjoy, because this will do the process make the process much easier. I knew I loved theater, and my parents didn't even need to tell me, oh, look for scholarships, look for the right colleges. I was doing that on my own because I knew that I wanted to minor in that, and I wanted to continue to do that in college. So it kind of motivated me, and it also motivated David as well. He was more motivated to look for opportunities, go through the recruitment process, be the one who was kind of like carrying that part of the process of reaching out to coaches reaching out to him, and trying to get a scholarship. Alrighty, so keep that in mind. Extracurricular activities, let me put up the slide, there you go, can be very beneficial, and is one of the biggest things or the biggest tools that students can use to get accepted to college with scholarships. Alrighty. Moving on to our next slide, and it's still talking about extracurricular activities. These were the colleges that because I just gave you an example of David. David was able to get accepted into all of these universities that you can see: Loyola, UCF, American University, St. John's, the University of Miami, Florida Southern University, and Marist College. And he ended up going to Marist College. As you can see, it was the school that gave him the most money. As I said, it was a school where he got recruited to swim at a D1 swim school that had a great swimming program. He was getting $8,000 per year. And, he was able to do this, get accepted and get this much financial aid and be able to go to his school tuition free because of swimming. So and also all the other schools that he got accepted into. Swimming did have play a role in it. He, also went through recruitment processes in some of these schools, but the best option was Marist College. It was his favorite school. It was what he was looking for, and it was because of course, his grades, his everything that he did in high school, but also his extracurricular activity was a very a driving force that helped him throughout this process. All right, so moving on from extracurriculars, what's another thing that can help students maximize their odds of getting accepted to college with scholarships? So now that we talked about extracurricular activities, another thing that is very important when applying to colleges and trying to get accepted into college with the most financial aid as possible is the college search, right? If done right, this, creating a list, making sure that the student is looking for the right colleges for them, the students could go to college with a lot of financial aid. And this is something that a lot of students don't know. I've seen students and parents tell students, you should apply to this school because it looks great, or it's the name of the school is very appealing, or this school's close to home, but there is no research behind it, and in order to maximize the odds of getting accepted, the odds of finding the right fit for the student, there has to be research in place, right? I talked earlier about me and my specific situation where I knew that I wanted to continue to do theater. I didn't want to major in theater, so I didn't want to go to a conservatory, but I either wanted to minor in it or be part of an extracurricular, kind of like a club. But I also wanted to have the opportunity to get a scholarship for it. So my college search was very specific because I knew that I didn't want to major in theater. I wanted to continue to do it. And I was looking for colleges that offered scholarships. So, I couldn't have just randomly applied to schools and expected, a random school that I applied to have that specific program. I had to do my research. I had to find these opportunities. And that's why the college search portion of the college application, I sound like a riddle, it's really important, right? So, looking for colleges that make sure that the student, parents and students, make sure that you are looking for colleges that meet the following criteria. So when creating your college list, when applying to colleges, make sure that the student is looking for and applying to schools that meet the student's academic needs, the student's extracurricular needs, and the family's financial needs. This is very important. This is very imperative because, let's talk about academics. Let's give an example. If a student randomly applies to a school because their best friend's going there, and the student knows that, they want to major in pre-med, they apply to the school, they get accepted, they go there, and surprise, the school doesn't even have a medical school. Or if the student is undecided, but they know that they either want to go into film or communications, and they apply to all these schools, they get accepted, and maybe the schools that they got accepted into have a film program or a communications program, but once they get there, they realize that those programs are not ranked not high enough, but they're not great programs. Maybe they're new, maybe they don't have a lot of resources for students to succeed. So it's important that when creating the list, the student knows or has an idea of what they want to do in the academic, what they want to major in, maybe if they want to do a major in a minor, what that minor could be. Make sure that those lists meet those needs because you don't want to be surprised. Trust me, I've seen it all. And the last thing that you want to do or your student to do is to transfer. Because yes, a lot of students do transfer because maybe the school is not a right fit for them. But, you want to avoid that because it does take, not only, let's say that your student is a freshman in college, they don't like the school because maybe they didn't do their research right, or they didn't feel like it was a right fit. The student is going to have to go through a whole application process, trying to transfer credits, see if they work. Maybe they'll have to add another year, etc. So it's important that you try to avoid these things because it'll just make everything easier. It might save you time, it might save you money. So try to look for these things. Another thing to make sure of when looking for colleges is extracurricular. I know I just talked about extracurricular activities, but like I said, I looked for schools that had theater programs and offer theater scholarships. Make sure that you yourself are looking for extra schools that, if you practice an extracurricular or if your student does a sport, etc., that they are looking for these things. If it's an art, if it's maybe an academic extracurricular, such as mathletes, such as a robotics team, etc. Make sure that if that is something that your student wants when they go to college, that they are looking for these type of opportunities. All right, and finally, another thing to look for is the family's financial needs. So make sure that the colleges on your students list meet the family's financial need, right? They're part of the process of creating a list is looking at the financial history, or the financial aid statistics from colleges. So making sure that the college meets at least 75% of a family's or the student's need, because there are colleges that are quite generous when awarding financial aid, and there are colleges that are not as generous. So it's important that the student is looking at these things, looking at this specific criteria, because you don't want to be surprised. It's better to get ahead of the game and look for colleges that meet your family's financial need, or who have policies, that, ensure that the student, if the student has a specific, or the student's family has a specific financial situation, maybe they make under a specific amount of money per year, that the student, that the college guarantees that the student will at least have financial aid to cover cost of tuition, cost of attendance, etc. So it's important that students do this. And inside of Best College Aid, actually, as a matter of fact, if you are watching this as a member of Best College Aid, and since we're talking about creating a college list, we just updated 2 of our lessons about creating a college list, to making sure that you are checking off this criteria and creating the right college list for your student. So if you are a member of Best College Aid watching this and you want to watch these new tutorials, these tutorials have been updated. Just go to your Best College Aid account and make sure that you watch these videos, because as one of the benefits of being a member of Best College Aid is that all of our content inside our platform for our members gets updated. It's always being updated, and if things change or if things need to be updated, if there is something different happening, we make sure that we update the platform, update our tutorials. So definitely make sure that you check that out and that you watch these videos if you happen to be going through this process. So just wanted to remind our members about that. Alrighty, so college search. We wanted to share about one of our students. So Livia shared with us that her daughter was accepted to Boston University, and this is something that she commented and that she let us know. So her financial aid package that she attached, you can see it in the bottom, but I'm not going to open it. But she basically let us know that she was offered $72,200 in financial aid and scholarships to cover the cost of attendance at Boston University, which is an amazing school. So congratulations to Livia and her daughter. And this post is just her asking us questions about her financial aid letter, which we of course gave her feedback and helped her, because she is going to try to appeal and try to get more financial aid. As she mentions, the university has been very generous, which they have. That is a very, very high amount of financial aid. And if, they decide to go to that school, they will not be paying as much money. They will be paying a very small amount of money. And now that Olivia is going to try to appeal and try to renegotiate their financial aid package, chances are that hopefully they will get more financial aid, and Olivia's daughter is going to be able to attend Boston University, which is, again, one of the best colleges in the nation. It's an amazing school. It's located in, Boston, Massachusetts, and it's a beautiful, beautiful campus. So congratulations to Livia. And she has been a member for quite some time, and they followed all our tutorials. They did the step-by-step process of researching schools, trying to find, doing the college search, looking for the criteria. And obviously this helped them, as it helped them earn over $72,000 in financial aid and scholarships. So just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, so the third tip that I want to talk about, that students can do in order to get accepted to college and receive scholarships. The third thing that has to be done, and this is more for the financial aid and the scholarship aspect of things, is obviously completing financial aid forms. And, this is something that I recommend to everybody: financial aid forms such as the FAFSA, the CSS profile. So this includes, in order to fill out these forms, the student is going to need tax returns forms, W-2 forms, and the proof of income for the student's parents. So this is all things that are going to be needed for students who are applying for financial aid. And of course, the FAFSA is, you have to be a U.S. citizen or eligible non-U.S. citizen, a resident of the United States. But some colleges colleges that offer financial aid for international students also require them to fill out, specific financial aid forms. So if you're an international student watching this, make sure that, one of the criteria that you would want to add to your college search is colleges that are generous or offer financial aid to international students. And if you do find these colleges, and if you do apply to these colleges, chances are, you will most likely definitely need to fill out financial aid forms, even as an international student. So just wanted to clarify that, because we do get a lot of comments from international students, a lot of questions. And, the process might be a little different for international students, but there are opportunities for them to go to colleges that will offer them financial aid. As a matter of fact, Marist College, the college that I went to, I was really close with a lot of international students. We did take a class together. So I met a lot of them. Actually, my senior year roommate and, my best friend throughout the 4 years, she was from New Zealand. And, she was able to attend Marist with a tennis scholarship. And I remember talking to her, and she told me that, she went through the recruitment process, and she made sure that the colleges that she was applying to, even as a student from New Zealand, were colleges that were going to offer her scholarships. So there are ways to get accepted. There are ways to go to college if you are an international student, or even if you are a student living in the United States, but you don't have a citizenship. Maybe you are a DACA student. Maybe you are oh my God, what's the word? If you are, an undocumented student, or if your parents don't have a social security number, but you do have some, you can still apply for financial aid if that's the case. But if you are if you don't have an American citizenship, but you are in the United States, there are colleges that could help you finance your education. There are opportunities. So there are ways to do it. Just wanted to clarify that and wanted to share with that, because we do get a lot of questions about that. So yeah, make sure that whether you are an American student with a citizenship or you are not, that you're always completing the financial aid forms that the colleges require, that you read those requirements, the specific requirements. If you're an international student, what would you need? There are colleges that are pretty clear about, when they're in their own websites, they will say, our financial aid is just specific for American U.S. citizens or residents, and there are other colleges that are need blind. So what that means is that when the student is applying, they don't look at their financial aid until after they've been accepted, and then they will offer them financial aid. There are colleges that are very clear and say you don't need a citizenship to qualify for our financial aid, etc. So just make sure that if you have gotten to that point, or if your student has gotten to that point where they're applying to colleges and it's time to fill out financial aid forms, that they do so, and that they do it right and correctly. And that will be a presentation for another time, everything asylum. Yes, thank you, David. I completely forgot that word. So if there are students who are, or families who are here in the United States and they are part of the U.S. asylum process. So that means that they are here, and maybe they won't be able to fill out the FAFSA, but they can still qualify for specific forms of financial aid. All right, so I lost my train of thought, but yes, fill out financial aid forms, because there is thousands of dollars that go unclaimed every year because students don't fill out these forms. And I have talked to students who tell me, well, I am a US citizen, or I am a resident, but I heard that you don't get any financial aid from FAFSA, so I'm not even going to apply for it. And that is completely wrong, and you should always be applying. If you qualify for it, always apply for the FAFSA or fill out the CSS profile, because another thing that is important to know is a lot of colleges who award merit-based or need-based scholarships, institutional scholarships, do look at the FAFSA or do require students to fill out the FAFSA in order to award these scholarships. So if you don't fill out this form, the college might not grant you with these scholarships. So make sure that you're filling them out, or the state financial aid forms. Those are important too. Alrighty. So that was a lot of information, I know. And I see that we have law school consultant saying hi on TikTok. Thank you so much for joining us and for watching this live stream. If you're watching on TikTok, thank you so much. We are having our live streams tomorrow. This is our live stream, weekly live stream schedule. We have our Monday live streams on YouTube and on Facebook. 1 p.m. we do our Spanish live stream on YouTube and on Facebook, and then 3 p.m. like right now, we do Facebook and YouTube for our English channels. And then on Tuesdays, we go live on Instagram and on TikTok. So at 1 p.m., we go live on Instagram and TikTok in our Spanish platforms. And at 3 p.m., we do our English platforms. So if you're watching on TikTok, tomorrow I will be doing our live stream on this specific platform, answering questions that come directly to on TikTok. And for our YouTube audience, if you want to go follow us on TikTok, on Instagram, these are our handles, as you can see them right here. It's Best College Aid USA and all of our English channels. If you're a Spanish speaker and you want to follow us in our Spanish platforms, it's Best College Aid, at Best College Aid for Instagram and TikTok. And for YouTube and Facebook, it's going to be Best College Aid. So you're going to type www.youtube.com/bestcollegeaid in order to follow us there. All right, so I think that's all for today. I know that we talked about a lot of things. It was a pretty informative session, so I'm happy about that. And remember that these videos get saved to this platform. So if there's always, if you want to watch this back or pause it, you can watch it and you can see it again in the future, or share with somebody who might benefit from it. If you have any questions after this live stream has, aired, you can ask your questions in the comments section below, and, we will get to them. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow during our Instagram and TikTok lives. And good luck to UNC. Bye-bye.